Take the word mentor out if you want to, right? I think it was Blake, in one of our Leadership by Design meetings here, he used the phrase friendtor. I'm like, ooh, I like that. I'm going to use that. Mentor, friendtor. Make it simple. Band of brothers, yaya sisterhood. Whatever it needs to be. Just get people in your life. So this tool we'll hand out at the end. Also, I'll give you a website at the end, 4040principle.com. You can download this, 4040principle.com. And it's just some basics on how to do it, some ground rules, and some powerful questions. The questions are what throw people. Well, what would I ask someone? Really? You don't have any questions that you want to ask someone that could be an advisor in your life? So here's my warning as we land this bird. If you're over 35, just be open. Just get a little opening somewhere in there. Open your mind a little bit more than maybe you're used to. It's okay. I need the same message. And if you're under 35, be bold. I talk to a lot of under 35-year-olds, and it seems like you guys are just waiting for one of us to come alongside and just tell you what you're supposed to do. If you're in leadership, lead. We need you to lead us. We're expecting it, within respect, of course. But please consider leading us. And Denzel has a great quote. If I could just read it for you. Show me a successful individual, and I will show you someone who had a real positive influence on his or her life. I don't care what station of life you're in, what kind of living you make, but if you do it, I'm sure there was someone cheering you on, showing you the way. A mentor. If I asked, and I do this in groups that are smaller, I go around and I say, hey, tell me one person's had a major impact on your life. And everybody has a story. A parent, a grandparent, a sibling, a sports coach, somebody, a teacher. And I say, well, if that's the case, why don't you have someone like that now? Because you know, after 21 years old, we have to find them, they don't find us anymore. There's just some weird shift at about 21. So go look for it. So the way it worked for me, just end with this story of how I found a mentor at 25 years old. So I've been reading a book called Up the Organization. Robert Townsend, great book. And in there it said, you know, if you want to be successful in life, get yourself some people around you that will hold you accountable, challenge you, support you, what I would call someone who's got your back, or a champion of your cause is the way I heard it put. Who do you have that's a champion of your cause? And if you don't have them, why? Do you have a good reason? So at 25, I moved from LA to Chicago. I'd just gotten married. My wife and I knew one person, our dry cleaner. Because in the job I had to show up with one of those starch shirts on. And I said to her one day, I said, hey, I'm looking for a dentist. Do you know anyone? She said, yeah, Ezra Chan. We were in the western suburbs of Chicago in Naperville, and we lived in this old Kohler furniture factory converted to these condos, and they had shops and apartments, and I thought, that's great. I don't even need to leave the building. So while I'm up there in a couple weeks waiting to go in and hopefully not have my teeth ripped out, he was talking in the back room about a leadership group. And I overheard, and I thought, leadership, that's interesting. That's what I'm looking for. I'm like, in the season, this guy said, just look for it and you'll find it. And it seems too easy. But you know when you buy a car and you didn't have it before, you start seeing it show up everywhere? All of a sudden, you're like, that's my car, or the one I want to buy. Same thing with this. I was looking for a leadership group. I was looking for a mentor. And I'm up there listening to this, so I'm like, man, I hope I have the courage, because I want to ask him, what is that group? But I'm scared, right? We self-sabotage. I'm like, I don't know, man, he might tell me that I can't be part of it and don't even try, it's expensive, or I don't know. We come up with these crazy things and defeat ourselves before we even try to start something good. So the hygienist comes in and she does all that and hands in your mouth and tools, and I can't really talk much. The dentist comes in, he introduces himself and where are you from, how long you've been here, and you get a few things out, and then hands in the mouth again. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to ask him. But finally I said, I'm gonna ask him right when he's done, before he walks away, because you know those dentists, man, they pop in, they pop out, and where'd that guy go? So I said, hey, do you know any, I said it so awkwardly, do you know any leadership groups I could join? He's like, what? Huh? I said, I'm sorry. I was so nervous. 25. I said, I was eavesdropping. I kind of heard you talking when I was out there reading that Highlights magazine that's only for little kids, but they're always in dentist's office. I don't know what that is. And he said, well, actually, yeah, I've got this round table of guys that are about my age. He was 45. He said, we meet every week, and we talk about a book of the month club. They're always leadership or a business book. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And I said, would I ever be able to come visit, or do you know any of the other groups like that? How do you join? He said, why don't you come on this Friday? I said, really? He said, yeah. You bring the donuts, though. Oh, good, I love donuts. I brought 24 donuts. This group met every Friday. For 3 years, I got to sit around at 25, all these guys about 45 that were smart and wise and not perfect. They could talk about their problems. And then the leader became a mentor of mine. Ron Knauer, I could call him today and say, Ron, can I ask you a couple questions? What was that worth? One question. How much did it cost me? 24 donuts, almost $0. What's it been worth? I can't tell you. But I've been married 30 years. That seems to be working. 3 kids, pretty happy. Career seems to work. Life's not perfect. A lot of big purpose decisions. So who do you have? Who do you have that will help you with that? And I want to leave you with 3 options. You know you can do nothing. You're going to hear a lot of speakers. And you're going to get a lot of intel. Write down one thing from each speaker that you're going to do. Because you can always do nothing. And you can say you'll do something. We know how that works. Same with me. Or you can do something. Think it, write it down, and do it. Because if nothing changes, right? Nothing changes. So come on, be the change. Be the change. Thank you for your time, guys.